What do you think is going to take for Soca to get to the level where we need to be in this world?
I don't want to sound negative.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
You don't see it happen.
I think it's just going to be for us. And I would like to be proven wrong. That's my unpolitical, completely honest, stripped down to the core answer.
Why?
What's up, y'all? It's your boy DJ BuzzB.
And it's your boy JKD.
And from the time you hear the voices, you know it's only up from here.
Yes, sir.
It's the Up From Here podcast. Now today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest in the building. Now, I was introduced to this brother through a booking in Montreal. Big up DJ Judgment. Mm-hmm. This brother played alongside us at Camp Fed. And I was told, before meeting him, before knowing who he was, that this is Alison Hinds, official tour DJ.
Right.
So somebody of that stature, you know immediately. Right. First of all, you know, my attention was raised, but not for the reasons you may think. That part's JKD. My attention was raised because who is so good that he's Alison Hinds tour DJ? But gears were turning in JKD's head.
Yes, sir.
Trying to figure out how I'm going to meet Alison Hinds through this guy. But getting to know this brother, you know, I could say a multitude of things that we've researched in terms of his career. Right. But I could definitely say, beyond what you've done, your accomplishments, one of the most genuine people I've met through this industry.
Facts. And
somebody I've been happy to have been introduced to and still have a healthy contact and relationship with. Right. So, introducing to the Up From Here podcast, we have from Trinidad and Tobago / Brooklyn. Right. He'll get into that whole story. None other than Mazel.
So,
yeah, fellas, I'm glad to be here. That's just the best way to put it.
Right. Oh, man, that's awesome.
Toronto is my favorite place to be.
Seriously? Seriously?
Wow.
Listen.
Yeah.
I remember someday I was talking in my group chat from high school or whatever. And them fellas were saying, oh, Trinidad have the most beautiful women in the world. I was like, stop. Well, them fellas ain't going nowhere. Right. It is between Toronto and London. Full stop.
Facts.
That's it. So coming back from Notting Hill, I came here. That was for 30 minutes cruise. Right. I was confused. I didn't understand.
Toronto.
I do agree. I do agree with him when he said London.
The London for sure.
Quality.
The craziest part is when it comes to London, everybody I speak to in London, like guys, they always say, nah, I don't like the girls here. But when I come to Toronto, and vice versa now, we say pretty much the same thing. Right. Exactly. I still think our women are mwah. Yeah. But this is that attitude that you get from being a local and
right. True.
So you kind of you're off that. But when you go to London, yo, they're the friendliest.
Yes, right.
And that accent, oh, it melts my heart.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
I would like to take that train, and I put on the accent heavy. I want to take that train there. Okay, we got to go this way. You got to go that way.
I love it. I
say, girl, just say Buckingham Palace. Just say Buckingham Palace.
Now we brought up a few places in this world, you know, that you've been. Maybe explain before Alison Hinds as well as during your tour time with Alison Hinds, the places that you've gone.
I don't know if you know this artist. He's more of a calypsonian. The first artist that was local tour was Chucky Gordon.
Yes. Love his.
Then I think it was Ola Tunji.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's when he had Bam Bam.
So you were the official DJ for these guys?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Okay.
Then Ricardo Drew when he had Vagabond.
Man.
Oh, wow.
Shuin.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's still my dog. Shuin messaged me today. Like when I was coming on the flight.
Yeah.
Shuin messaged me, bro, I want some music. Thing. I said, what do you mean music? Like, what are you talking about? He said, I want some rhythms.
Okay.
So I shouted out my boy Tano.
Yeah.
Primary school brethren. Sent him some stuff and some stuff I've been working on. Sent him. So next year looking nice.
Okay.
Nice. Now I guess those were the main artists before Alison.
Yeah, after showing, I kind of took some time off. I wanted to kind of focus on what I was doing. And I know Alison's management from me and Ultra Simo, longtime friends. His brothers, who was managing him, they tried like 3 or 4 other local DJs in Trinidad. And then they called me. They say, you still touring or whatever the case may be? I say, yeah. They say, we want to try out with Alison Hinds. I said, all right, cool. What it is, it was Caesar's Army. They had a Christmas party in a place called Government Plaza.
Okay.
So was like, all right, let me see how it fit and let me see what it worked with. Met with Alison, worked out a set list. After the performance, she comes, she just put her hand on my shoulder. She said yes. Like,
Wow.
That's it.
Them fellas call me the day after, say, yeah, we need to meet. What's the scene?
Right.
That was it.
Normal like that.
Wicked.
Like that.
Well, I know he has some Alison Hinds questions, I'm sure, so I'll let him tackle those before we get into the juice of the
I not on here, no, because I tell you, man, I say I link in here, organize the theater meter, take a wine. This brother freezes in the middle of London. Just looking up on the truck, he was looking for Jesus.
I was starstruck, though, bro. I was starstruck.
He was blowing kisses from the road. Blowing kisses from the road. Go on the truck and talk to she. What's wrong with you?
So how has that journey been, though, with Alison? And how long have you been playing for her now?
Since 2017, so now almost 6 years in December.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So with that, we're going to get back into that because that's I'm sure that was a very big milestone in your life.
Yeah.
Before we even get to that, because that would be one of the first things I would talk about.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your before even DJing, you growing up, where you've grown up. You've grown up in two very distinct places in this world.
Yeah.
You know? So let's talk about that, your rise.
Brooklyn.
Wow.
That's the Mecca for me.
Yeah. So were you born in Brooklyn?
Born in Brooklyn.
Okay. Well, okay.
Born in Brooklyn. Brownsville Hospital. Still live in that house when I do go back.
Okay.
After that, we moved to Trinidad in 2000.
Yeah.
2001. But 2001. Went through secondary school, and that's when I fell in love with secular music. Let me call it that, because I've always been a church boy.
So you're like me?
Yes. Yeah. I go a little further. My mother and father
are pastors?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a PK.
Yeah, and I used to play drums in the church, sing, choir, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest, I wanted to be a rapper.
Okay.
Like, let's be real. You all know 106 and Park. Like, people be talking about this TRL. I'm from Brooklyn, 106 and Park.
Facts.
You understand? That's why I know.
Yeah.
And that was me. That's why I wanted to be. And I guess I said, all right, maybe I could be an MC.
Okay.
Then I did my first event. I was in Form 5. Realized, okay, the DJs make all the money. They make all the money.
Right.
So I started to dig up in music. Thanks to my brother, Shal Sobers, God rest his soul. He helped me say, well, you need headphones, this music thing, I'll help you. All my brothers from day one, I will never forget them. I've always been grateful.
Wow.
You know, they helped me because I know Cook Franklin,
right,
Donnie McCookin, Helen Baylor, Hezekiah Walker.
Smallest.
That's what Ron Connolly. That's what I know. You understand?
Right.
Hillsong. That's what I know. So, I mean, so in high school, it was strict hip hop for me.
Okay.
But you would hear the soca, especially in the school bazaars. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
What's that?
Like the ZR, like
you would
ZRs
have
in
proms.
Yeah.
We would have something called a school bazaar.
Okay.
And it would just be like a fair.
Yeah.
So you would have games or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
And then when 6 o'clock hit, scrub down.
Okay.
Is our scrub down. Right? So that's where you really hear all these songs or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
And that kind of would have been my first introduction to soca. If I think in the first soca songs I heard was like Marshall, You, Delirious, Scandalous.
Yeah, that was right when
Stop.
That was right when I got into it.
You understand?
Same time.
So if I had to say really the artist that I was really kind of starstruck for when I started working them was Shuin.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what got me to love soca.
Yeah, because before I even knew who he was personally, now, you're saying that right through, you're waving a white flag.
Yeah.
At that point in time, he had a sponsorship with B-Mobile. I used to scream out the truck when we going on football games over, B-Mobile. Like, you know, so, like, when I now started touring with him, my joke for him is like, sure, you need that white drag, or you need that white drag. And after a while, he really used to start like, I could get you white drag from your hotel room. Like, this man just needs a full supply of these white drags right through.
Right.
Yeah.
Right through.
I went to a random party in Hamilton.
Okay.
Right? This is my introduction to soca.
Okay.
Random party in Hamilton. It was a carnival route. They had small trucks.
Yeah.
We did the parade. It wasn't all that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the route now, there was a huge park.
Okay.
So we go up in this park now, and they were waiting till the sun went down, and then they had a big stage set up in the middle and had artist performances and whatnot. This is my first piece of exposure to soca ever. Just went, in Hamilton. Obviously I would hear it in the house. My parents would play it.
Right.
My sister loved it.
Right.
But at that age, like he said, I had a whole different, idea when it came to soca. Right. And it wasn't something I associated with because, you're at home.
Yeah.
This is now, I don't want to associate with,
exactly. Yeah.
those type of things. Right. I have my own thing when I'm in school.
Right.
So I go now, sun goes down, lights come on. This is a whole new experience I've never felt before.
Yeah.
Get to the front now, and I'm standing in the crowd. So Sherwin comes on stage. Electrifying performance.
Right.
And at that time, that was the height of his career.
Okay.
Electrifying performance. And I'll never forget, there was one moment. He took out cases of water, starts throwing it out to the crowd. I'm like, yeah, I guess people are that thirsty. I'm not knowing what to expect.
Right.
So he said, don't open it yet. Everybody just get your water, get your water.
Right.
Hold on. What year is this?
This must have been 2007.
Yeah,
2006, 7.
I know what song he was going to sing. Continue.
I can't even remember the song.
Splash.
Either Splash or Can't Wait, something.
Right.
But he took out the water and gave it to everybody. So I catch one now. And at that time, I had long hair. My hair is out. So he just says, everybody open your water now and put it up.
Right.
So I'm not knowing what to expect. Yeah. So he does the countdown. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Everybody flung the water. And that was one of the most that was one of the biggest memories I've ever had where soca's concerned.
Right.
But what won me now, me, a little 16-year-old kid in this party. This little girl comes out and whines on me. She must have been my age or maybe even a little older than me.
Right.
She comes back and whines on me. I promise you, I look down. I look to the side like, is she sure this is does she know what she's doing?
Yeah.
I look down. I'm like, yo, girls do this? All right. I love me some soca music. 17 years later, Mr. Tsunami. Sherwin is what got me to love soca.
That's wicked. Bro,
then I went to go look for Marshall and thing on, or the top dogs in soca to figure it out.
Right.
HD.
Right.
I went to go research all of that, and then a couple years later, randomly got into DJing.
Nice.
But anyway, yeah. So that's your catalog of people you've worked with at a high level, I'm guessing.
Worked with Kess 1 or 2 times during the season, just to hold in for Robbie.
Right.
Robbie was sick, and other than that, I think that's about it.
Got you.
Wicked.
So I know, especially with the Alison Hinds situation, that's not a small league.
Yeah, that's
if you will, for lack of better words.
Yeah, that's international touring kind of.
That's the top of the food chain, so to speak. So share some of those experiences and your takeaways from that time that you could share that people could utilize. Not just DJs, not just tour DJs, but anybody, those experiences,
I would have to say Rotterdam could have been 40,000 people.
Wow.
40,000 people. Like, you cannot see the end. So they just build this huge stage in the middle of the street.
Wow.
And these people not even speaking English.
Right.
A lot of them speak Dutch.
Yeah.
I had to warm up about 15 minutes before she came on.
Okay.
And I also use Ableton Live.
Okay.
And that was the first time I actually did it.
Okay.
I call Robbie. I say, Robbie, I need that crash course. He said, we do this thing. Bam, 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 bam. Knock it out. The stage is at least 50 feet. The DJ set is in the corner.
Right.
The stage for the Ableton, the next side. So after I had to play, I had to run across to go and do that. And I would say that was the moment in my career I was like, I could be Superman.
Okay.
Because I had to do both.
Right.
And it wasn't, I had to be focused. It wasn't as easy. The playing music thing, that's like second nature.
Right.
But Ableton was completely new to me for live. Okay. I used to use it for audio production.
Right.
But that was a whole
explain, because I know some people are going to ask, what is Ableton? So explain what
Ableton is a digital audio workstation.
Okay.
right? And it's what producers like Diplo and them use
Okay.
to put together their beats and their programs. But it is also a live, I guess, instrument where, as you can see, technology has advanced the way beats sound.
Right. So it's kind of like because I used to go to church and I know like churches use it as kind of like tracks.
Yeah,
track.
yeah, pretty
So
much.
it's
Yeah,
pretty much
yeah,
the same thing.
pretty much the same
Okay,
thing.
Okay.
Pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I think I was more wowed by using it live and hearing it
Right.
into load on this thing and launch from. It's amazing, bro.
So from my understanding, that was your first time using it, and it was
Yeah.
live in front of 40,000.
40,000
Crazy.
people.
That's crazy.
Let me see if I get the picture.
That's crazy.
This guy, he's just talking like it's a normal story.
Right. So was it a soca theme festival, or was it like
It was-
something else? Then and they hired Alison to do.
It was Rotterdam Carnival.
Oh, that's what it was. Oh wow.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Rotterdam Carnival.
Okay. Oh wow.
Check the YouTube. Oh my gosh!
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, like
People.
you can't see like
Yeah.
I don't even know what kind of sound system you need to push something like that.
Right.
That was
Well,
amazing.
you adapted, and I think that's probably the biggest takeaway: adapting to change, right?
That was the most electrifying. And I use something that people don't really use. I have a Machina MK3
Okay.
from Native Instruments. Robbie was telling me, I was like, Robbie, this is what I have. So I had to figure out how to use
Yeah.
it. Just YouTube, figure out how to do it, launched.
So, what other things, what are other takeaways you had during that time that, you could look back to? Like, this was an amazing lesson that I learned working here or working with Alison.
Like, no, I'm being honest, I'm kind of fed up with traveling.
Okay.
I like being behind a desk and doing the background work. I still do it because I can, but it gets old. I've been doing it for about 10 years.
Right.
And it's not the same as it was before. Before, Sharon can tell you. Oh, yeah, I used to play for Iwer too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got fired.
You got fired.
Listen,
Wow.
let me tell that story real quick.
Okay.
We were in the biggest,
Gather around.
the second biggest water fete in the world, second biggest.
According to Iwer too,
Second-
Iwer said ours is the biggest. Well, go ahead.
We were going to Soca.
Okay.
Trinidad, right? But they weren't sure. Management wasn't sure because the promoter has problems or whatever to get onto him or whatever the case may be. I had my ticket to go. I work hard. I've been working in the day, doing marketing, been working in the night, playing music. I was like, we're going to fit this weekend.
Yeah.
So they only told me we were going to do that. They told me just be ready, but they only told me we were going to do that like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
By the time them reach, which was sun up, I done drunk already, bro. I'm drunk. Out of my mind.
Right.
I come to fet. So Patrick, the hype man,
Yeah.
he's calling me off the stage. Mazel, we're backstage. I'm drunk. I'm not hearing nothing. My cousin in the corner, some girl bottom in the face. My next partner who
I'm the
is
judgment.
it wasn't judgment. It was my cousin Kieran.
Oh, sorry, wrong party, right?
And it's just he is headbutting the girl, and I was watching this, and all I feel is like Jesus come out and touch me, and I see Patrick. Yo, we calling here. He came off stage to fight.
Wow. That's crazy.
Wow.
Still drunk. I don't know how I did it. I played for Iwer. Don't know. Don't know how it happened. And then after that, I think it's like 2-3 days after, management say, yeah, boy, Mazel, they think I work out. I say, fellas, don't worry, I understand. I fully understand.
You get it.
Me and I was still good. He was like, I'm happy you take initiative after that. I say, no, I understand.
Yeah.
I mess with the money.
Right.
And we don't do that. I say, but the party was bad. He said, I know you had that time. I know you had that time.
At least you owned up to it. That's
Hey,
it.
that's what you had to do.
Some people would come in and give every reason why they were okay. And
Because even after that, like I said, I was management at the time. They managed Alison. They still call me back for that.
wow.
That party would have probably been, let me see, Party Animal was out. That could have been 2015, 2016 or something. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's crazy, bro. So now for the juicy part of the podcast. So just at midway through, we just remind everybody, make sure to follow us. This is the Up From Here podcast. And we got a lot to talk about in this half. Okay.
I like this.
Now, what do you think is going to take for Soca to get to the level where we need to be in this world?
I don't want to sound negative.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
You don't see it happen.
I think it's just going to be for us. And I would like to be proven wrong. That's my unpolitical, completely honest, stripped down to the core answer.
Why?
Soca artists don't want to invest in this craft. They want to buy Gucci belts. They want to buy champagne in the club.
Right.
That is where it is. You see what you have here?
Yeah.
You know why you have this? Your mindset is different.
He's talking about the studio.
You don't live in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
The amount of DJs in my time frame or game don't own their own equipment.
Right.
We as black people don't want to own
Own
anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Right.
I want to own everything. Literally.
That's why I have this podcast.
Yeah. Hey, Tyler Perry.
TP.
TP.
TP. These brothers want to buy Gucci belts.
Right.
All right. So if I was an artist, I want my own studio
Facts.
for sure.
Bro, you don't even need a studio these days.
Yeah.
They don't even own a mic.
That's what I'm saying. From the bare minimum, you should own a mic and one of them shields,
Yeah.
the protectors. That's the bare minimum.
Right.
And you could still produce something
Exactly.
of substance. Look at St. Lucia.
Yeah.
That no. That
Exactly.
sounds like they recorded
Put it
on a
on.
WhatsApp voice note and put it out.
And it's one of the biggest
And
hits.
it's one of the biggest songs.
I
Look
not-
at work your gripping. Come on.
I'm not even gonna call names, but some of the biggest soca producers do not even own their own studio.
That's
All
crazy.
they have is a laptop.
That's crazy.
And even if they have a studio, it's mediocre stuff.
Right.
Them fellas want to invest in clothes
Right.
and buy Gucci belts and buy champagne for the smallies in the club.
Yeah.
That's what them brothers want to do. They want to buy the best car, this and that.
I guess where does that influence come from though? Like why are they stuck in that kind of mindset though?
Everybody want to be a star. Come on. Everybody want to be a star. I don't want to be a star.
Right.
I want to be the best paid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we reach 40, 50, me, BuzzB, JKD on the yacht in Miami,
Right.
watching the young boys do their thing.
Yeah.
And Skip. You understand?
Right.
We want to be on the yacht. Like, this is a young boys game. Let me don't even play that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me be real. This is a young boys game.
Yeah.
You can move up and make it elegantly casual or elegant, but it's a young boys game. And these brothers just want to buy the Gucci bags and everything.
We got that out of the way, the soca and how it could get to the next level. I guess your answer is it's not going to, but you hope it does.
I want to be wrong.
So let's talk about the issues.
Right.
Before that, did you have a question?
No, well, go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
the issues. Why isn't it going to get to that level, Mazel? What's wrong with our industry? Be as free as you'd like, minus calling names. We'll beep it out anyway, but just yeah.
Fine.
We
Fair
still
enough,
have a job to maintain.
Fair enough, fair enough. It's all right. I'm sure you would have seen the coming up of Afrobeats, correct?
Yes.
I was gonna ask that.
Ask it. Okay? I know exactly what I'm gonna say, so ask it.
Like, and it's not just with soca music. It's with a whole bunch of other
Yeah,
genres, especially reggae and dancehall.
Correct.
That's been the hot topic. Everybody's saying, "Oh, Afrobeats is gonna take over soca. Afrobeats is gonna take over dancehall." Why do you think that is?
I can't speak for dancehall. All I can say is how I feel.
Yeah.
Dancehall fell off long time. Them men been singing bare shit long time.
Right.
Right? Because they are forgetting what is the name of their genre. It is called dance hall.
Right.
Sing music for girls to dance. So this gunman thing is not
Right.
gun hall, it's dance hall.
Right. Right. You're right.
Nobody dancing.
Yeah.
We only shooting.
Yeah. You're right.
So you don't change up the whole aspect of what we
it is.
doing.
Right.
Let me say this. This is always be the basis because me and Jay was constantly having this argument. I'm not saying this is Bible or doctrine or whatever, but I'll say this. I read a book about probably 10 years ago. Jay-Z Decoded. In the chapter, he said, in order for any musical genre, he was talking about rock music,
Okay.
heavy metal. In order for any musical genre to move forward
Yeah.
and keep affecting or impacting the lives of the people that listen to it, they must talk about real life situations.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So, all right, we was drug dealers in the 90s. It was gangster rap. People was, Rodney King was getting shot, whatever the case may be. The police, I can say that.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll beep it anyway.
Yeah, the police, right?
Right.
So, those were things that resonated with the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Then we wanted to party in the early 2000s, whatever the case may be. And if you remember, it started to take a little dip because EDM started to come in.
Right.
What they were talking about, love, partying. What did we have at that point in time? A world recession in 2008. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In order for a musical genre to move forward, it needs to talk about real life situations. When did hip hop come back on track? In my opinion, Drake. Why? He was talking about breakups and love. Right. That's something people go through every day.
Right.
What we singing about in soca? We still partying. We still partying. We still drinking rum. We still whining low to the ground. We still right there by the truck.
It's funny how you say that because again, like this is going back to like us on Uber, and the most, I guess for me, I don't know for Buzz, but for the most impactful songs that I've heard this whole carnival season was, for example,
Think long and hard, because the last inspirational soca song I heard was Far From Finished from Voice.
I was about to mention it.
Okay. But like even like songs,
come on,
but like even songs
Voice
like,
himself, he records a lot.
like
Of
even songs like Hall of Fame, like there's a lot of history behind it. Like once you
fair enough,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like for me, I like that educational part of it and knowing that. Yeah, but you're right, like most of the songs are. But we're drinking rum and having fun.
So hold on. You say Hall of Fame. How does that now resonate with the American / white / European / Afghan / Iranian community?
Yes.
What they know, Muslims don't drink rum. They're not supposed to, at least from my understanding of the religion. Right. How are they resonating with that?
But up until now, I can't explain one or two lines of a Burna Boy song. But I'm in a party going at it when I hear those songs. I'm enjoying myself.
They kind of, I mean, so Americans kind of jump on the thing.
Yeah.
Last is a song about a breakup.
Yeah. Right. No, you're absolutely right. I think it's a combination of stories as well as acts of service.
You mean acts of service?
By that I mean something that could actually help your audience. Right? You sing Far From Finish, and not only is it a song that's uplifting, but it's a song that you could relate to, a song that you could look at and be like, yeah, my mom did say similar sentiments. If you work hard, then you get what you want. And it's that in itself, to me, is an act of service. It's basically what we're doing here.
Correct.
Up from here. We're sitting here telling stories, hoping that the listeners, you guys have a certain bond or relationship with us, listening and watching this podcast, but you're hearing our stories and realizing that we're regular people just like you.
Right.
Yeah.
But one day you could have it all as well.
Right.
And we're working to get it all, but in that process, there's so many stories that could be learned.
Yeah.
And if it's one thing that to me, like I've really valued these days, it's something like A Genius by Kanye. You understand?
Right.
Having that footage of what you've done step by step in your career is like one of the most crucial things when you get to like a certain level.
Yeah.
Even if it's a podcast, like the other day I came to my own sort of consensus about a podcast saying that these days, like, you don't really have much of a podcast market in our industry.
Yeah.
If any.
Right.
No,
there isn't.
Right.
But that content alone, even if 0 people watch those podcasts, from the first one you did it till the 300th,
True.
by the 300th, you could have become Jay-Z.
Right.
But don't you wish you had some content to go back to that
Big
had
facts.
like all of your emotions in the moment
Right.
about certain pivotal things that got you to that point?
Big facts.
And it's your own voice, so
Yeah.
now you can narrate
Right.
that for a story.
Right.
All of that's essential. That's worth more to me than any amount of viewers we could have got.
Right. Absolutely.
Obviously, we could have got millions. But, you know what I'm trying to say.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think content is key right now.
It is.
We have these, again, everybody has
their
this
phone.
cell phone.
Right.
It may not be the best of the best, but we've seen clips go viral with way worse quality audio and video footage.
Yeah, them grannies be twerking on the live.
JKD knows. Okay.
Whoa!
Hold on. I'm just gonna throw you under the bus like that. You do too.
No,
Matter of fact, you do too. And you do too. So
how
don't
you throwing
try
the whole team under the bus? Listen. Let's not get into, you know what?
Them grannies be twerking.
There's one story we forgot to share about Uber Soca Cruise. Okay?
Go ahead, share it. Because I know you want to get it on. Just share it. Just share it, man.
If there's one thing about Uber Soca Cruise, the aunties on that trip loved JKD. They loved him, boy. There was even one auntie. Oh my gosh. Every time she saw JKD, hey, Big Daddy. Whoa.
I like it when you call me Big Pop.
That's what I said. She said, hey, Big Daddy, come here to mama.
She didn't say that last word.
I swear she said some. Oh no, she just sat on your lap. My bad.
The Soca Santa Claus.
Yeah. This brings me into the segue for the next topic. And that is the older generation and the younger generation.
Damn.
Now, I think you have a word for the older generation, but we're not going to go down that road. Starts with a D. Okay.
Listen, I don't care about being public enemy, you know? Right? I do business. I'm from Brooklyn. I tell people that. I will talk my mind. We call them dinosaurs. Right? We call them dinosaurs.
Okay.
All right.
But I don't vex with people who are afraid of the new technology or new change. So I'll just share a little small thing. Back in 2008, I was the man in South playing for all the little birthday parties.
Okay.
This is what I'm gonna say. Let's be real. The only reason I was able to become a DJ is because these girls who had these sweet 16s, they liked me.
Right.
I was already invited. I couldn't play for.
Right.
I just asked them to give me a chance,
Right.
and that's how it became.
Okay.
Right. Another thing is nobody taught me to DJ. My boy told me, listen, here we're doing. You're going to listen to 96 or Red. Write down every song that they play in order and go and play that in parties. And after 2-3 weeks, I realized this song mixing with this one from this list and that list. And then I realized the pitch faders. That's how I learned to mix.
Oh, wicked. Okay.
That's how I learned to mix.
Okay.
And to head back to the dinosaur thing, I had my brethren's father was Lennox, DJ Lennox from Trinidad. And I went to them for advice, or whatever the case may be. I was like, what I should get? They say, well, try the Serato thing or whatever. That was a SL1 box.
Okay. Jeez.
I already had Pioneers or whatever the case may be. I had an 800 mixer. Men was using CDs. They said, nah, get that. I remember me and my boy, my brethren Fats. He was like, you had to get a Mac, dog. I said, serious, but I never use it. He said, you had to get a Mac, dog. Throw away that Windows. At that alien way, 17-inch. He had to get a Mac.
Right.
We went and pawned my brethren Kadeem rims.
Damn.
To help me get a white MacBook.
Wow.
Paid it off the next week. He get back the rims, whatever the case may be. So I use in Serato. Now I lighter because before I had to walk with 2 CD cases or whatever the case may be. Right. So I lighter. Then I started to go and play in parties, 1 or 2 mess ups because, it's new or whatever. Yeah. Men cussing. Boy, was this computer thing you coming with? Nobody using that. The CDs thing. Yeah. Weird thing happened the next year, 2 years. Everybody have Serato. Right. But they couldn't fight me because they was playing on my system regardless. So I'll unplug my thing for you to play with your CDs. No problem. People just be afraid of technology. And that's okay. People just be stuck in their ways. Yeah. Having to change is not that easy because after watching a lot of interviews and whatever the case may be, DJ Snake, one of the biggest DJs in the world, let's be real. That man has been using Scratch Live, dog. He only changed last year.
For real?
Yes.
Wow. Scratch, bro. It's still
Go and check it. The man, you are still seeing when he plays a song, it's in green. The man was using Scratch Live and an SL3.
That's crazy.
He said if it not broke, don't fix it. Produce on his Beats Mixer headphones. He was using that same Ableton Live. I think it was like 9 or something. So using the same thing. And those, I can understand that because those brothers are busy.
Right.
So for them to have to learn over a whole new software to change their process, they don't have that kind of time. Because he touring and producing. If he was just touring, he could have changed. Right. If he was just producing, he could have changed. But doing those 2 things, he had to stick within that same streamline to just make it easy. So going back to the dinosaurs and with the youths. We have to respect our elders. That's what I believe.
Absolutely.
They could be dotish, they could be stupid, they might know the way, we might know a better way, but you gotta give them a respect. Man.
Right.
Them fellas pave the way for we.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have no problems with the OGs.
Right.
None. Because I understand what they did.
Right.
At that point in time, somebody was fighting them down. If we would do more listening than
Then
talking,
yeah.
it could work. But these young brothers, ignorant and dotish. And they feel they know everything and they knows nothing. And that's a problem.
In most cases, yes. There's a few cases where, you know, you have the dinosaurs who don't want to take the time to actually teach us.
No, they don't want to. Because I had a conversation with the owner of Island People before they were defunct.
That was one of my favorite bands, by the way.
Epic.
Yeah, I loved it.
And I asked him, I said, why am I here and you have a whole committee?
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to be real with you. He said, them young people don't want nothing but to be in the forefront and then worry about money after. He said, I already realized you dress different, you talk different, and you ask questions because you want to learn. He said, they don't want to do that, so we don't care about them. That's why you're the only one here. These young boys don't want to hear. They don't want to listen. They just want to do it their way. Yeah. And that's why the term dinosaur came about. These fellas know there's something I believe there's nothing new under the sun.
Facts. Absolutely.
You can't remix the wheel.
Yeah.
The cart with the horse from the 1600s is the same spinning rims we've seen on BET in 2004.
Absolutely.
It just have some chrome on it.
Right.
So you had to respect the OGs. They know it there. Things might be tweaked and it might be better. We might have some new technology,
right?
But the information is still the same.
Mm-hmm.
And what would happen is our peers would disrespect the OGs and make it hard for us. Yeah. And the backlash comes, and that's where the constant fight between the old and the new comes. That's where it is.
I'm always a proponent of, respect your elders. To me, respect only falls so far as I'm not going to do what you said and lash back.
Yeah,
because a lot of these OGs have some attitude that's just pompous and arrogant.
Right.
And as much as you're saying the young kids have deaf ears, the older ones have just as much.
Definitely.
Just as much, if not more sometimes.
Right.
And to me, respect is, okay, I'm not going to air you out. I'm not going to go on social media and tell people what kind of person you are.
Facts.
But if you push me to that point where I have to defend myself, best believe I have receipts. You understand? Yeah. But to me, it always baffled me that information was so secret, like it was so privatized. People would keep that information to themselves and only give it out to a certain group of people.
Oh, let it be real competition.
But to me, and this is me. I'm not the same person as everybody out there. I'm not gonna claim that or say that's what it is, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a different breed. As other people, they could be have more hustle than me, and vice versa. But to me, as much hustle as people see that I have, it's never faulted me to give somebody the game.
Exactly.
Let me ask you a question.
And then me continue to soar.
Again,
I love this. So
but again, the bigger picture is like, for me, is like, okay, do you want to see the culture succeed? If you want to see that, you got to split some game. You got to teach the young ones to do. Yeah. You know, you got to teach them how to do stuff. This
is one of the conversations I was looking forward to. I'm going to ask you something. Is music your only source of income?
Not yet.
Is music your only source of income?
No, definitely not.
So you're not in survival mode?
Yeah.
When this becomes your only source of income, desperation kicks in.
Right.
Desperation clouds your judgment badly. It makes you erratic. You could get annoyed very easily. Right, yeah. You'll cuss out people. You'll always be stressed. You're always looking for the next dollar.
Right.
So you're doing things out of desperation. Right. Proper business move come from people who are relaxed, calm, and collected. Risk to reward. If you know you could lose that $10 tonight, no scene. You're not going to bother.
Right.
But that brother need that $10 more than you. Every success story has a backstory.
Facts.
People want to know why. I'll just give you an example. Why Marshall would have been bigger than Kess in the shorter time period. He had less liabilities. You know who Marshal's wife is, correct?
Yeah.
And you know Kes was married a long time ago?
I even know.
That is because when your mind and your energy are split in different, like if you have a wife, you have to pay attention to her.
Yeah.
There will be arguments.
Right.
Those things will mess with your mental mind.
Right.
That's why Marshall waited till he reached 40 years to then get married.
Right.
But he done had 4 children already.
Right.
So it's all about where you put your energies. You have one life to live. Spend it wisely. Time is the greatest asset that we have.
Right.
So how you think is a problem I've always had. I cannot expect the next man to think like that. That's why we just mesh so good.
Yeah.
Because I understand.
Yeah. And it really bothers me because when you give the game, to me, it benefits the whole industry. It benefits the environment that you're working in, right? We're in Toronto. If I teach all those parties that have been flop, had they had a little more guidance, those all could have been a lot better attended, which would have gave a better impression of Toronto.
Right.
But when you ask somebody these days what's going on in Toronto, 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you there's a party like every weekend, if not twice a weekend.
Right.
Majority of the time it's flop, but there's only like a few parties within the year that I'll go to.
Right.
Why not just figure out how to make every party good? If every party is good, everybody in each of those parties is telling everybody else how good that party was.
Facts.
And it grows the whole community.
Exactly.
That call me stupid, but I think that might be a good avenue to go. And if you're a top dog, you didn't get there because you're gatekeeping the information. That's not it.
No.
This day and age, you could ask Chat GB, whatever the hell that's called, anything, and figure out what you need to figure out.
True.
Absolutely.
So that alone is going to change the game.
Right.
But to me, what got you there was your hustle and creative thinking.
Right.
One of my cliched things that I always say is you could tell somebody, yo, how do you know how to stay in shape?
Yeah.
Eat healthy. Stop eating BS and eat healthy and exercise.
Right. Yeah.
But some people, it just doesn't work out so.
Right.
You have the information, but you don't do anything with it anyway.
Right.
The chosen one will.
Right.
And that's just my approach to it. Again, what do I know? But one day I'll show people.
Only up from here.
Exactly. I could sit here and say this on a microphone every podcast all I wanted to, but until I show people what it is, nobody's gonna listen. Yeah. So I'm hoping that things change, and I'm not gonna sit here and say all elders are bad. There have been some elders that have given me information that is priceless.
Right.
Facts.
Information that little thing that they might have told me could have changed the trajectory of my entire business.
Right.
And there's some people that have called and out of their own way to help me on certain things. So I cannot say all elders are bad.
Right.
I'm not gonna claim all elders are dinosaurs.
We can never say that.
Or any of that. But what I will say is your attitude tells me who you are, young or old.
Right.
And if your attitude isn't there, I'm just removing myself from that equation. You do you on that side, I'll do me on this side. We'll figure it out from our ends of the ball court. You know what I'm saying?
Like I had a situation with a elder for Carnival itself.
Yeah.
And it only allowed me to play on the truck Tuesday for half an hour because he just want to play whole day.
Right.
And I have no problem with that. Use our OG.
Right.
I know I getting paid regardless.
Right. Right.
So I good. I'm not trying to be the star boy.
Right.
I'm trying to be the best paid.
Right.
Because like I was telling Skip before I reach here, I's a man trying to do 2-3 bands Monday and Tuesday.
Right.
And I tried to catch 2 Juve. So when I relax and say vacation in March for my birthday,
right. Exactly.
I cool.
Right.
Because I know when it's time to hustle and put that Brooklyn grit in it, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. So if you want to play for 4 or 5 hours, you big up your whole self. Because men just always feel the longer you plays, the more exposure you'll get. And they say, no, bro.
Yeah.
No. Half them people drunk on the road.
Exactly.
Half they don't know who was playing.
Right.
And
they just had a good time in the band.
Right.
No. And if people could just realize that something like what we're doing literally right here, sitting down and speaking into microphones in front of a camera, is 9 times out of 10 more impactful than almost anything people at that level could play.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You go out and play for a party with to me, you go out and play for a people with 1,000 people, right? Let's just say the promoter's a fool. Mm-hmm. Say, try not undercut you and yo, Mazel, you charge this. Well, nah, do this for me. You doing that whole fight up before you even enter the door.
Right.
You get inside now, you probably might not even get good playtime.
Your energy off.
And your energy's off. And
right.
even if you get good playtime, your energy's off.
Right.
And not many people could do something with that slot of time in a party that's impactful.
Yeah.
So let's just take all those dynamics there. If you incorporated that exact same energy into doing a proper mixtape
Yeah.
and posting it online for the world
Right.
to listen to, you could now get tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that listen to that one mix.
Absolutely.
And I am proof of that.
Right.
A couple of my mixes have 1 million views. If you know what that took just to do that mix.
Right.
One of them, yeah, it took a lot of heart and soul.
Yeah.
Another one is like, how does mix reach 500,000?
Right.
I wasn't expecting that. I just did the mix.
Right.
And bare people were listening. That was way more impactful and probably got me more international gigs
Facts.
than that one gig I could have played at some rum shop.
Right. Right.
Like we got to start thinking how to work smarter, not harder.
Harder. Facts.
Leaving your house is a whole chore.
Right.
We realized that in COVID.
Right.
I don't know about you, but that period of time showed me
Yep.
how much money I saved. And I work in these parties.
Yeah.
How much money I saved not leaving my house, going to these
And we have the best resources that we could ever have, which is number one.
the cell phone. I've been saying that. Now, pivoting from that, I'm glad we had that conversation. And to me, it was pretty civil.
Yeah. Of course, of course.
Civil but stern. You understand? Civil but stern.
Facts.
You played it safe.
Yeah. Because right now I'm in that limbo part where it's like, I'm not an OG yet,
right.
but I ain't no young boy.
Right.
I'm right in the middle. Like, I see who's who,
Right.
and I match energy.
Right.
If your energy is right, you'd be sitting where Mazel is sitting.
Right.
If your energy's off, you're not going to get a response from me.
Right.
Facts.
Period. I don't care who you are.
Right.
That energy cannot revolve in my circle. I completely respect everything every one of these guys have done. But one thing I could admire is like the guys who have been in this either longer than me or are at a way further point. Some of them have told me specifically, and two that I'll mention, I have no problem naming name for this. It's Chow
Yeah.
and Rigo.
Right.
When I asked them, like, what are you looking at for your future and what are you looking at for what you're doing? Both of them separately, complete separate conversations was like, yo, bro, I know people look at us like we the ish, but look at somebody like a Drake, a DJ Khaled.
Right.
We ain't put in no work yet.
Right.
And there's always going to be some kid trying to take our spot. So we still hustling and grinding
Right.
as if the next one's our last.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they haven't reached nowhere yet.
Right.
Yeah, they've done amazing in our industry.
Right.
But those are guys to aspire to look at. The Khaleds, the Drake, Tyler Perry, Jay-Z.
Right.
Those guys have really done something.
Right.
Like I'm not trying to diminish what we've done. We've done amazing in terms of our culture.
Right.
But another thing I heard that always stuck with me was like Soca can't fight everybody else if Soca is fighting Soca.
Right.
And that's basically what's happening.
Yeah.
I that's what I was digressing from. Your manager asked me the question yesterday.
Okay.
So going back to Afrobeats now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when I posted that thing on Instagram with
Judge
Rima? Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, watching music, that was one of the most electrifying things I've ever seen on Instagram.
Okay.
Rima he watching the crowd, just when that song started to play,
Right.
and just bouncing,
Right.
and people started to scream. The man is singing a word
What's
yet.
yet?
Yeah.
People scream out, calm down,
right.
from start to almost finish.
Right.
We know that's a epic song, right?
Right.
Who's on the remix though? Selena Gomez. Do we need her on that remix? Hell no.
Absolutely no.
Right? Let me touch on next one. I would say the song that made Afrobeats, Wizkid and Thames.
Okay. Who's
Don't
on
need no other.
Right,
What
right.
was that again? That one on the remix?
Justin Bieber, was
Did
it?
we need Biebs on
Oh,
that?
Bees.
Did we?
No.
But that's the kind of money they invested into their craft.
Right.
Last funny song I heard in Soca was "Push Your Hand in Your." I don't know if Drake wanna jump on that.
Wash your hands.
I don't know if Khaled wanna remix that. Like
Right.
the only person who was doing it was Marshall,
Right.
Pitbull, Lil Jon. When Lil Jon was pumping,
Right.
when Pitbull was pumping, Marshall was spending that money, spending it. Kes have a remix with Snoop Dogg.
Right.
Them fellas spending their money. these brothers buying Gucci bags and Vapor Max and Alexander McQueen shoes.
If they're even real. Yeah, that's a separate podcast.
Yeah, you know, I just saying, like, invest in your craft. If I was an artist, I was going to have my own studio.
Yeah.
Because I could tell you from a corporate standpoint, studio time, expensive.
Right.
Most of my money is going studio time, which is why I have a mobile recording rig.
Okay.
Put that money in the pocket. Let me keep more money inside than we spend out.
Right.
Right?
Facts.
These brothers not invested in their craft. They're not doing it.
It's unfortunate, man.
That's why the only way soca can transition into the pop market is to link up with pop figures. Pop is not a sound. It is what it says. Pop, popular music.
Right.
Chris Brown is not an R&B artist. He's a pop artist. That's why he can sing forever.
Right.
Nicki Minaj is a pop artist. That's why David gets a call and put on a song.
Right.
It's pop music. Soca can be that, but these brothers are not going to invest in it. It's a hustle to them. And let me say one thing that people there's a constant fight with it. Soca is seasonal. Carnival is a season. But now we are so blessed to have multiple carnival. Carnival is a huge thing now.
Yeah.
You could, if you're an artist that have a big song, you could tour whole year, boss.
Right.
True. Hardest working artist in soca I've ever seen. I don't care when none of them say they could fight me now. I could never play in that fete again. Shal Marshal.
Wow.
Shal Marshal. Let me tell you why. Because he's a DJ.
Right.
Shal knows it's just a hit 5 party for the night. So when he had Splinters, his DJ, Marcus, I said, Marcus, how the weekend was? He said, well, here's the scene. This Friday, yeah? They have about 2, 3, 4 corporate little events. Then Shal jumping on a plane to go to New York to perform in Queens. Then when he reached back, taking his first flight out, when he reached back, he going on a boat ride, a breakfast boat ride.
Right.
Leaving that breakfast boat ride as he party on a pirogue. We just call a man named Shaki, right? Jump on the pirogue, head to some party up in the hills or something, and this is Saturday. And then still going 2, 3 fete after that.
Wow.
I don't know no artist who was doing that.
Wow. Must big up Shal.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So when I see Shal with I don't want to say how much the watch cost, but when I see that the rest, I say, Daddy. He say, oh gosh, long man. I could be wrong, but they tried to rob Shal for Carnival.
Oh,
He was going in the bank. They tried to rob him. Shal was
I heard that.
Shal was hardest working artist. That man could not have a hit, and he just still tour.
Right.
So that's the next thing I'll see. Relationships. Relationships very important.
Yeah.
All you know if all they come true, I was sort all out. Skip, you know that. You have to nurture relationships.
Right.
They're the most important thing. Because when you have nothing, you keep filling up a cup, and when it's your time to drink, somebody go draw for you. Relationships more important than money.
Yeah.
Right.
People don't understand that.
Yeah.
Plant your seed, your tree will grow. I've been showing demos for years. I can't remember how long. Pre-pandemic, I was sending them stuff.
Yeah.
Showing was calling down my phone Tuesday. Means that I was something. It have stuff I even finished.
Right.
I even sent him my instrument. I sent him a video
Right.
of something that I started. He said, what that? And that is pre-pandemic.
Right.
I've been running him down. We just had to take time. When the time come, just be ready to strike.
Right.
That's all. Everything is taking patience.
Yeah.
It's an absolute fact. I'm definitely learning that more and more as we go.
Yeah.
In relationships especially, you know, like it's crazy how even, and I would say relationships, both good and bad. There's been some horrible relationships that have put me in the path to make a great amount of money and have even better relationships through those people that I met through the bad people.
Right.
So any relationships, just take it for what you will, but even sometimes those bad experiences, what you faced within that time, and maybe that one little person that you might have met could have been the one person that was the most important for you to meet in that whole situation.
And then loss is really not really. It's not a loss.
No, it's a lesson.
Exactly.
Like I was watching a documentary on Kobe, 81 points.
Yeah.
They say if Kobe lost a game, As the stadium was cleared, he went back in and practiced that same shot that he missed over 100 times.
Wow.
You're like basketball, correct?
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors. Why you feel 90% of the time they're undefeated? You cannot catch up to a team where 3 fellas are snipers.
Right.
They're shooting from the 3-point line. That maths could never add up.
Right.
That could never add up. If Steph Curry only get 20 out of the 60 shots that he takes, he's still up 60 points.
Yep.
You cannot beat a team who is shooting a better game.
Right.
See,
And sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying you had to know your risk to reward.
Right.
There's mountains of money you could make in any lane revolving around whatever it is you love.
Right.
You take hip hop, for instance. You could be the actual artist. You could be a hip hop DJ. You
could be a
hip
producer.
hop MC, producer, songwriter,
Manager.
podcaster, manager, stage manager, booking
Absolutely.
manager. There's various
Various.
lanes
Right.
that you could tackle and dominate. That one that you're trying to do might not be the best.
Right.
Give it your go, give it your all. But if you've done that like wholeheartedly and it hasn't been working out, pivot.
Yeah.
You
Facts.
still love hip hop, but you could be a much better number 2 sometimes
Thinking, let me share
Right.
than
something.
being a number 1.
Let me share something I saw in a seminar by Tony Robbins.
Uh,
Know what business yet? He said that in the 1800s or the 1800s, the family that owned the locomotive trains in the US were the richest families anywhere. And you know what bowled them out? Trucks. Model T Ford. Why? Because they didn't want to pivot. They thought they were in the train business, but you in the transportation business.
Right.
You had to know. So we could consider the train people dinosaurs
Right.
because they didn't want to pivot. Remember,
It's the same-
locomotives have wheels.
Right. It's the same with Blockbusters and Netflix. When Netflix came out, they like, oh, you guys are babies.
Hold on, your Wi-Fi thing.
Right.
Hold that.
And we're Blockbuster now.
Boy, them dropped the ball.
Yeah.
Is MSN or Yahoo? They dropped the ball too.
Right.
They were supposed to buy Google, if I'm correct.
Seriously?
I believe so.
Oh,
I could
wow.
be wrong. Somebody they were supposed to buy,
Right.
and they say nah.
Jeez.
see, and that's more from the angle of like feeling you know everything and you're arrogant, right?
Right.
But let's kind of tweak that thought process for a second. Let's look at Amazon.
Yeah.
They were selling books online.
Yeah.
You guys out there could literally be doing anything and end up like Jeff Bezos, depending on how your business takes you,
Right.
if you do it the right way.
Right.
He was selling books online.
That's crazy.
Look at what, like, he is one of the top companies in the
World.
world.
I will say this though. The richest people in the world are in the same business. Sales. I can't remember the man's name, but the LVMH guy. Retail.
Right.
Jeff Bezos.
Retail.
Retail.
Yeah.
Elon.
Retail.
Retail.
I think that brings me back to that point, acts of service.
There you go.
Well, that's all acts of service.
There you go.
Might not be the best service because Amazon has pissed me off a couple of times with their package drop-offs, but they're doing it at scale.
Right.
So sometimes they don't even have the attention to detail to service. So I can't even,
Right.
you can't micromanage a company that's running the world.
Right.
But I say all of that to say, like, you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
Treat people good on your way, going up and coming down.
Right.
And you never know who that next kid will be.
Exactly.
That kid could be doing some small thing that, you may not think twice about.
Right.
That could be the next Jeff Bezos one day, the next Tyler Perry.
Absolutely.
It's crazy what this world could be.
Yeah.
And we've seen examples.
Right.
The one thing is, look at history. History has shown you an example of what's already happened.
Right.
Always repeat itself.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
There's always going to be something that replaces the last.
Right.
The last huge wave when it came to networking devices is the internet.
Yeah.
I think now is AI.
Right.
And now people are saying stupid stuff like, yeah, AI this, AI that. It's just that Will Smith movie. Let's just hope they don't kill us. It's way more serious than that.
Exactly.
It's kind of scary, to be honest.
Kind of.
I'm not trying to be a dinosaur, but it's scary. Like,
is.
I ain't even gonna lie.
It's not kind of scary. From time we're hearing Drake songs better than Drake songs. It's very scary. What would happen if they really get a hold of that stuff?
So I was watching, I think it's another DJ podcast called On the Road or something. I can't remember, from DJ City. And they were saying that, what do you all think is the way forward for AI with music? Yeah. And it might come to the point that, let me see, that same Drake and Weeknd song, men would just had to sell the rights. Drake would have to sell his likeness, and he would probably get a percentage. If you think about it, it's just new technology. We've been doing that when people have been sampling songs like Kanye and them. Yeah. And they had to give 80% of the song to whoever. And the way I watch it, if I was Drake, I would have signed up on that song. One, it doesn't get big. Two, now I could go and perform that song. Yeah. I never had to go in the studio or write that. Yeah. And I'm just collecting a check. All right, cool. Or they like AI, produce more tune. True. Now instead of me releasing an album every year, releasing 3. And all these songs bad.
True. So I'm big in the whole like sound clash and dub plate thing. Like Mans could actually get a dub plate from a dead artist. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Like I could get a dub plate from like Bob Marley if I want to say my name. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have to pay a thing.
Oh boy, if you think about it that way, artists who trying to live on dub plates, they're there to know. Fellas, they're there to know. So I try to think about what, especially for me in my industry, what could kind of knock me out of the way now. And I know for sure there's no way, no how a robot will be able to DJ. Reason being, AI has no emotions. They only replicate what information that they have. And we play so much sets, they might only be able to understand player verse, player chorus, player verse, player chorus. I think that's the only thing they could probably understand. But energy and vibes and what song to pick, they're not gonna know that.
But I don't know. I have to disagree with you because the reason why, because like if you go on like apps like Apple Podcast or iTunes, you know how it has the function where it shuffles. Sometimes it matches beat matches and everything.
No, I'm not saying that, but in terms of like energy in a party now.
Okay.
Now to pivot back, because you know you're here, we got to get a few more questions out where your brand Mazel and who you are is concerned. So somebody that we knew beforehand, but we see you work very closely with is Joe.
Yeah, man.
So explain a little about your sentiments towards him, because you guys are you're close.
Yeah, of course.
Booked both of you guys for the show Soca Sleep over here in Toronto, but let's get a little bit behind that working relationship.
How did that happen, boy? Judgment. His manager at the time, Kristen, she was like, just meet this guy. That's all she said, just meet this guy. I think that was in 2019. Okay. And we would just message from time to time, and then I think I went to a party called Soca Snowcone or something like that. And we just went and talked, we just vibe, we hold our vibe, and it just kind of went from there. And then he came for Carnival 2020, pick him up, we just lime, we were just talking and we were just sharing things, and he was telling me like he have this friend in the industry that and thing. I was like, so why are you not playing on a truck for Carnival? Like that is just something you could call me and say, yo, so and so is the case. I say, and I will put that in play. I say, because if I consider you a friend, I trying to look out for you. Right. You understand? So you need to really watch who in your corner now, boy. Right. You understand? If I consider you friend and I know I'm in a position to help you win, that's what we had to do. And I guess he took that to heart. And 2021, after I finally got to leave Trinidad after the lockdown or whatever, I was in New York, and I think it was Labor Day. Okay. I say, bro, I just looking to come on vibes. I say it's not no money thing. I'll just come, hold our vibes with you, wherever you have this weekend, and it's a cool scene. And after that, I think I'd do something down in Long Island. And he's like, yeah, we gotta work together. And that was it. So
it look like the friendship it's fresh.
Yeah.
Because it seems like
3-4 years.
Because it seems like you guys know each other for way longer than that.
We talk, and I believe that just because you know somebody 2-3 years, you might have a stronger friendship than somebody you know 10 years. Like I have that same kind of relationship with JW. Okay. Because I believe in supporting people. Me and he only started working together 2020.
Oh wow.
And then bam, pandemic hit. And then bam, he was running for office. And he's like, hey, he called me. He was like, hey, do take no horrors. He said it's just something I have to do. I know we had some plans. I say, bro, you gotta do what you gotta do. So you have a family to feed. I respect that. You have my support.
Right.
When he went on the campaign, I drove his car while he was walking through the neighborhood or whatever 2-3 times. He didn't end up winning, and we had a conversation like a month after. He said, I want you to know I really value our brotherhood and our friendship. I say, why? He said, because it's our people I work with for 10, 15 years, people I know in the industry, and they even call and give me a good luck.
Wow.
Or have a good race. They ain't show up. He said, you ain't only show up, tell me good luck. He said, you came not once, 2, 3 times, 4 times, and you bring people with you. He said, I'll never forget that.
Yep.
And I would expect them to do the same thing for me.
Yeah.
So you had to give that support.
Yeah.
And those relationships matter. That's why I love the relationship all they have. I told you all that. Like, when I only realized, I say, wait, BuzzB throwing party, JKD throwing your own party too. It's like one thing, and you're moving together. There's no hate. There's no not like you all are brothers, not friends. You're like blood. You don't get that plenty these days because men only out here for their own agenda. But once again, as I said, that's survival. It takes a different individual to think on a bigger scale to know that. I think this whole thing where we say music is the mission and to have enough out for everybody, I don't think that's true. But it becomes true when it is not your way of survival. So you see it as a mission because you're trying to spread love.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
But when you hustling and it's no longer like a business that you're taking time to curate and you work, you're investing in the craft. You move like a hustler and you're trying to keep everything to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
That is what has happened.
Yeah.
To be honest, and that's, to me, all of that is everything you just said is my superpower.
The time I saw, like I said, I'm going to finish the podcast on the plane. When I saw you mention the Iwer, I was like, that sums up everything.
Yeah.
I finally, like I always understood it. Remember when I came and talked to you after Tsunami and say yes, that is your goal. I already knew the timing with you already.
Yeah.
I know where all your mindset is.
Right.
So I know we always have these conversations.
Yeah.
And that's where it is. People need to see the bigger picture. But when you only see one avenue, that is it.
Yeah. That's again, that's my superpower. Like I've never had to be really in survival mode per se. I've always had an amazing support system, my family, right? And the same thing you mentioned with JW and yourself, that's the only people that are on my team.
That's the only people you want to keep around you.
That's period. It's a small circle of people, but you will not be in my team if I don't see those qualities you just mentioned.
Yeah.
If I ask you to do something, just even if it's a small task, you go above and beyond, and I see that countless times, you're in the circle. Otherwise, you either may be a distant associate or somebody for hire.
We just cool. We
cool.
Right.
Yeah, we just cool.
The circle around me that's what I keep around me, and I'm lucky to have. Even though it's a small circle, I'm lucky to have what I have.
That's why I told you I want to congratulate you because I know you went Uber to just go and experience it.
Yeah.
I see this man playing.
Right.
Who I know he playing with?
Yeah.
Kevin Crown, his brother.
Right.
Because they have that relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Relationships is everything.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
he care about you, so he put you in a position to win.
Right.
And that way you're supposed to do for your brothers. As simple as that.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys, they like, especially the ones that have like him. He has no reason whatsoever to be doing what he's doing.
But you're genuine with your brother.
I'm genuine with him. He's genuine with me. And one day I'll say I can't wait for the day where I could pay all of them guys that I know really did it for me, that I could pay them back 10 times as much.
Right.
And not even think about it. Just, hold that.
Whole lot, yeah.
That's just because of what you did back in the day. Hold that. Now let's not even talk about it. That's the goals I'm trying to get to.
That's a great feeling.
Because I value that. As I said, I see people's energy. I see how people move.
Right.
I see people's attitudes and how arrogant and pompous a lot of them are. I don't mess with that. But if you're somebody even bigger than those guys who I'm talking about and still are genuine, are humble, and you're helping me, and vice versa, this is a mutually beneficial situation. I would rather work with that pocket of people and go to the finish line.
Absolutely.
Period. And I wish a lot more of our community could be like that.
Yeah.
But that survival instinct, it's finding the people you mesh with. Because there is success in that mode, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
And to me, it's like, you always are gonna find this 8 million people, 8 whatever, however many billion, 8 billion people on this world,
Right.
right? You're always gonna find somebody like you.
Right.
You may not find many, but if you're a POS,
Right.
okay, you can fill in the blanks. If you're one of them, then
I thought you man say put a speed in. Well, continue.
if you're like that, right? You're gonna find somebody that has that energy, and you
Absolutely.
guys will mesh it. You guys may be powerhouses.
Absolutely.
But to me, being the right person, being a good person, and doing things from your heart, and operating with that level of
more value.
authenticity, and
more
just
valuable.
in general, just being a good person,
Right.
to me will take you
Further.
light years ahead.
Yep.
Right? So it's what you want to be, and I'd prefer to be that example.
Facts.
You don't have to be like that to be big.
Right.
You don't. There is a certain level of assertiveness that you need. There's a certain level of being strict. There's a certain level of business acumen you need to have. I get all of that. But you don't need to be like that.
Right.
There's a fine line. No, just for the people out there. But, great conversation when it comes to, especially, changing the trajectory of what we're doing. Because the world is going into some serious changes right now, and
Yeah, boy.
you're in a unique situation too, being from Trinidad and speaking to that demographic. Because we're here in a different part of the world, Canada, Toronto, and we have our own privileges here.
I will say this. I was telling Joel this the other day. You could either be a great businessman or you could be a politician. Can't be. Remember when I was telling you that? Can't be both, dog.
Mm.
Cannot be both.
Right.
Let me tell you, your politicians. John F. Kennedy. Kill him.
Right.
Abraham Lincoln. Kill him. Martin Luther King. Kill him.
Right.
Michael Jordan, great businessman. When they ask Michael why he do support this one and that one, he say, I have no comment. He say, white people buy shoes too. He's a billionaire.
Right.
You had to choose your route. I'm not saying you still can't, let's be real. Jordan, if you ever buy out Jordan, well, back in the early 2000s, and you open the box, it said a portion of these profits go to, they do a lot of things in places like Africa and wherever the case may be. That could be your contribution, but sometimes it's best to just stay quiet and just bat in your corner and make the change that you know in your community than being an outspoken POS. You understand?
Right.
But you have to know which route you're taking. Can't be both. I definitely trying to be like Jordan. Because at the end of the day, this is a selfish world. And if I could just help the people that I could touch, that makes all the difference. You can't, not even Jesus could save everybody. So I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah. So amazing conversation. Anything else that you've learned within your years that would be beneficial to young aspiring DJs, to dinosaur DJs, to just the general person listening to this? What are some inspirational things you found on your journey?
How to invest in your craft, boy. And you have to own things. Can't be renting, especially if this is your business. You had to own things.
Right.
And one thing I learned in university, if you don't have two, you don't have one. And if you have one, you have none. I have 2 laptops.
Right.
I have 2 consoles,
Right.
2 set of speakers, 2 mics, wherever it is.
Right.
Because if one conk out today,
You have a next one.
you had to have a next one.
Right.
You have to.
Yeah.
That's a good perspective.
And it's like that in business too. I remember even talking to Kevin Crown, you know what I'm saying? And he had asked me to do some graphics for him, and I couldn't do it at the time. He's like, well, I have an ex-graphic designer, that he call. Same with me. The other day, my car broke down. My next brethren couldn't fix my car. I have another mechanic. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, it's just business. At the end of the day, it's business.
Yeah.
Business is all about solutions.
Right.
What problem can I solve today?
Exactly.
So besides helping your select few people, what are your 5 to 10 year goals, your longevity goals? What do you want from all of this? What do you want to look back and say, yeah, I did it?
That picture you're gonna post, I'll be honest with you, that was almost 5 years ago.
Yeah.
For me, that was Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. because I don't know when again I'll see that kind of stadium.
Right.
And now I want to more invest my time in production.
Okay.
I've been doing it for years, since 2015, but corporate. So I've been doing jingles and stuff like that.
Okay.
Right? But like I said, when reach out, that's going to be the start. GW been asking, when I go back, we're going to work on some stuff with the guys who wrote Come Home for Nina. They are Alison's management.
Wow.
Oh, well.
Yeah, they wrote Savannah, Waiting on the Stage. No, Waiting on the Stage. What's the next one? With Kess and Iwer.
Stage Gone Bad?
They wrote that. Come Home. They wrote Ambush for Lyrical, and they are managing What's Ways now. So I'm seeing opportunities, but I know I don't want it to be a nepotism thing.
Right.
I know this is a competition.
Right.
I come in with some heat. I know I had to come with some heat. And even if it don't happen this year, it could happen next year.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, like I said, the reason I never ran it down is production checks has been nice. Especially for corporate.
Right.
You know? So people say, why are you so laid back? That's what's for my energy.
Right.
Because you and all know. I've been touring for like 10 years.
Right.
I'm not gonna fight up with no young boy, no party.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight up with no OG.
No, you're right.
I'm not doing that. You know what I like to do, to be honest? Weddings. So if I had to see the next 5-10 years,
Yeah.
and I've seen some wild things in some weddings.
Yeah.
As I said
Like the
before,
story.
the bride is kissing the maid of honor. Like, she comes out and is like, tell me you love me. I love you. Kiss. I'm just like, GW watching me, I was just like, then our wedding, a month after, the bride lift up dress, one of the groomsmen scrubbing she down.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, what's going on here?
So that's why you like the weddings?
That's not why. That's not why. But I just say, take this girl out of hand.
Yeah.
There's 3 aspects for me. Every nigga looks good in a suit. I don't care who you are. I don't care how small, big, tall, short. Every nigga looks good in a suit.
Got you.
It makes me tap into my creativity.
Okay.
Whether it's me putting up my own sound system.
Right.
And the wide aspects and different genres of music that I
Like you could
touch.
play.
Right? And then lastly, which could probably be firstly, the money's good.
Money. Yeah.
The money's good. And it's just less stressful, Dread.
Yeah.
I know most people don't like having, play this, play that.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
Check looking nice.
Right.
I looking nice.
Right.
Everything nice. So, you
Bro,
know.
I just can't with the requests. I'm sorry.
Let me give you something my brother told me, right? My brother, yes, he's a DJ, but he's a TikTok man. Rebel Rango. That's his thing.
Okay.
He said, hey, you're dealing with people being annoying for requests. He said, you walk in with a cup in the party. Put it in front by the DJ. Say, before you play, he say, hey, what's the scene? Don't come and ask for nothing to be requested unless you put your money in the cup. This is the token boot. Let me run tune. He said the first time he did that, he went home with $300.
Wow.
US.
I'm just trying to make sure.
Listen. Men, let's talk about money. Pull up? Nah. Put it in the cup.
Right.
You could tell me where. Put it in the cup.
Right.
You can say wherever you want. Run that offering plate through the party. Run it.
You're good.
Because people just be drunk and.
Yeah, it's too
Right.
much sometimes.
The worst time, a guy, he was making a request. That was in the same thing where the bride was getting scrubbed down. This guy, he's horsey, drunk. Some song he asked me to play. First, I wasn't taking him on. This man turned over his beer in the can and it spilled out. But he is drinking from the bottom now. What are you drinking? There's no hole at the bottom of the... Like, dog, I've seen some crazy things in weddings.
Stories for the rest of your life.
So, Cup, Cup is the vibes now.
Yeah, okay.
I hear that.
Okay.
It's been an amazing pod. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the people, then?
I hope that is only up from here and that they bring me back again
Oh, yeah, for sure.
during the
For
summer.
Yeah.
So we can talk about some more things. You know?
No, that's awesome. And you're one of the first guests on the new rebrand of the show up from here.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
the studio. I love the vibes, the energy.
Yeah.
Is literally only up from here.
Respect.
It-
man.
And we try and bring some artists.
Yeah, yeah,
Come
yeah.
on
yeah,
here.
for sure.
Let me see who I could talk to. If I could talk to the queen, but JKD can't be here.
Yeah.
Yes, stand
You know
up
what?
and-
It would be ironic.
I could be him, okay?
It would be ironic. It would be it wouldn't even be a coincidence that we get Alison Hinds.
it's
That's the
gonna
one
happen.
time he can't show up. I guarantee
No, it's
not
gonna
that
happen.
one, bro.
No, I'm gonna make sure I'm here.
Now everything have to move. Now everything have to move, you know. But
He-
before that,
he
no.
gonna pass
I
out.
got this to do,
He
guys.
gonna
I'm
pass
sorry.
out upstairs.
Alison Hinds, all of a sudden, JKD good. No problem. Kids, they buy mom and auntie. They good. We good. This guy's something else, you know. Now, Mazel, where can they find you, or where can they find you on socials if they want to get in contact with you for any work?
Instagram and Facebook, Mazel The Sound Master.
Nice. Was it? Explain that. Give the.
How did that
I
come
should have
about?
opened with that one.
Yeah, facts.
Clearly, you could tell we freestyle. Okay.
It's kind of close to mine too, because I go by JKD the sound designer, because I design and
Oh, yeah.
JKD The Tantys. No?
Yo, okay.
Why
hold on,
do the
bro.
man that?
JKD Alison Hinds.
He's so stupid.
Yeah, the Sound Master. What's that?
I was looking for a logo when I was now starting to play, because I was just gonna probably call myself DJ Maze or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But that was, of course, taken by probably 2 million people.
Yeah, right.
Right? And somebody, what was the man name, boy? Can't remember. I swear to God, I didn't see that guy in like 10 years, and I saw him when I went during Carnival. I went to lunch with a production manager, and I saw him. He's like, "Wait, you know, long?" I was like, "Yeah, dog." He just sent me a logo, and it said Masters of Sound.
Okay.
That sound like our vibes. It was me and one of my brethren at the point in time, Matthew Ragonat. And he's like, "Yeah, let me go that." I say, "Well, I could be the sound master. You just be the master, the MC, the master ceremony." He said, "Yeah, we could do that." And I went along to create a logo, and I was just looking for inspiration, and I landed on this. I think it's a Korean or a Japanese cartoon called Puka. You can check it up. So I was like, I can make something out of that. Stripped apart all the pieces, wherever the case to be, put on our headphones, made a long white beard. And I just saw that Shaolin Masters, maybe it could be my obsession with Wu-Tang or whatever.
I was about to say.
They are masters of what they do, of Kung Fu, obviously. Right. So I was like, all right, I did that. I went to the biggest graphic artist in Trinidad at the point in time, Hinkson. And I said, this is what I want, that's what I want. And we sat down in Häagen-Dazs in Gulf City Mall 2 weeks straight trying to get our logo right. And I'm very boasty when I say this. I have the best logo in the game. You've seen my chain.
Right.
I don't know if that was my mind, but I just always wanted a big chain. And when I saw the logo, I was like, that's what, at some point, I'm going to get it. And that logo just, it was, to me, was a piece of art.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today.
Bro,
We appreciate your
I was
time.
excited.
Yeah.
I know we're going to do this again for this summer because
absolutely.
I come in to stay, same thing like last time. I'll stay for 2-3 weeks. So
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely link back up and do this again. Well, we appreciate your time. Make sure you guys check out the episode with Jel as well on the Up From Here podcast.
Yes, sir.
That's another spectacular conversation and definitely something that is going to gear us in the right direction to taking Soca where it needs to go.
He definitely is strongly passionate about the trajectory.
Yeah.
We have those conversations all the time.
Absolutely. And if it's one person who, let me choose my words carefully here. If it's one person who I respect their mind when it comes to soca music, and it's like I respect him in his totality, is Joe. That man to me is one of the most brilliant minds when it comes to this industry and
The genre
the
itself.
genre, studying it, learning the intricate, details of the culture, not just where he's from.
He on it. He on it.
He's on it
Every
everywhere.
island.
Right.
Every island. He on it.
And he knows what he's doing where that's concerned. And I give him ample praise where that's concerned. Well, we talked to him on that podcast, so you guys go check it out. But Gel, yeah, kudos to him. And I love, as you said, I love this brotherhood that we're curating,
Absolutely.
and I never want it to be something inclusive where it's like, you're not welcome if you're not with us.
Yeah.
You know?
Nah, that's something I was gonna say when we was talking about the dinosaurs. Like, just throwing this out there. Let me say for one of your events, every chance you encourage a young DJ to just come, play, and showcase. Don't have to be in the middle of the party. Could be in the beginning, could be in the end. But let them experience that big sound, big stage energy that they're not gonna get the opportunity to do because
Absolutely.
the other people are not gonna do it for them.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think the biggest takeaway too from today, based off of everything we talked about, is we can't fight this battle if we're fighting ourselves.
Right.
Right? Let's come together, build this to where it needs to be, and let's be recognized. Don't look at it like, I know you said I can't remember your exact words, but that it's not gonna happen. But you hope you're proven wrong.
Yeah, I want to be right now. I have very little faith. I don't want to call no names,
Yeah,
but the young ones who are my age, who are supposed to be leaders of the new school, when Marshall and Bungie was them fellas age, them fellas have multiple Soca monarchs who have road march, who had this. Out of the new leaders of the old school, only one really reigning dog. And I have a serious problem with that. And it's not like these brothers don't have access to the goats.
Right.
They've written songs for these
them.
guys,
Right.
Marshall and them. The information is there. But these brothers want to buy Gucci belts and this and that. And they just want to bull gills. Like, guys, they just want to be with they want to be the most sexy and dog. That is not it.
but okay, that too. Yes, you have a certain responsibility being, and we'll end with this because you have a certain responsibility with whatever it is you decide to take on in the industry,
Facts.
and you can't demonize somebody if they don't want to take it as seriously.
Correct.
You could sit there and say, yeah, you should, but really, if you're happy making that,
Yeah. That's their choice.
That's your choice.
I will play a song. I happy with your contribution.
yeah,
Yeah.
But moving, like, if you're trying to take it to level 3 or hit a mushroom like a Super Mario, you had to change your
Right.
your
You
mindset.
do.
and
Absolutely.
it's one of those like you can't demonize them for being complacent.
Never.
Right.
Never.
Right?
Because let me be real, the song's still bad.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, them brothers might get a hit.
Right.
But I worried about the consistency of constantly hitting the mark every single year. And like I said, there's only one out of them who seems to get that, to push that point forward. There's my brothers.
Right.
But I know I can't talk to them like that. They ain't want to hear me. And these big men, all of these grown men, they're going to do, you can only bring the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And nothing happens before it's time. So maybe they just in a zone where they need to be taking these hits or these losses, and they might just be the bigger ones.
Right.
In my opinion, Marshall didn't really hit that epic run until he was done 30 years in the business. You're talking bottle of rum, fog,
Yeah.
like a boss,
Right.
Yeah, that's when
Right.
Mr. Fett.
Right.
That's when you couldn't stop him. And that is already 30 years in the business. He done win 2-3 road match already.
Yeah. Right.
Ban of the year, John B, Big Chuck. And then he just come and started hit with even more. So nothing happened before time. If they just need to buy Gucci belts right now or drink bottles of rum and have all these gills, maybe that's all part of the process.
But you see, and where I was going with that too was you get to a certain level of complacency. But a lot of people also say to themselves, well, I like this level because I'm making a great living.
Correct.
I'm effing these girls or these women, right? And that stops there because that's their level of enjoyment in life.
Right.
They don't have determination to go further or help others
Yeah.
to a certain extent. Maybe they do, but it's not as visible. But the reason I say that is because they're complacent doing that. Some people literally feel like if I do take that next step, the devils that come with that level is not worth it.
Right.
Big facts.
And like I was listening to today itself, I was listening to Gilly on $1 Million Worth of Game. And he said, like, yo, I was a battle rapper killing mans in New York
Right.
on some battle rap. And he's like, I was doing it. And I'm from Philly. This and that. I was killing the game. But I could not break through that hip hop market. Now, he's like, I'm making, you guys saw the contract as $100 million they made.
Right.
Just for that podcast. And he specifically said, he's like, yo, there's also a reason that God didn't give me this right, like at that time.
Yeah, he was
if I
never
had all
making
of this
that.
success back
Never
then,
making no
he
100
probably would have been coked out and all kind of stuff.
Right.
God knows, he could have been dead in the streets.
Right.
Facts.
But because he's older and more mature now was the time where it's like, okay, take it all and go.
Right.
And that too speaks volumes. Sometimes it may not be, it may be the timing.
Right.
It may not be the right time for you to dominate.
Right.
Facts.
But there's always, like, to me, it's just rooting what you do in acts of service. How can what I do make somebody's life better?
Or your heart could be clean.
Or and keep your heart clean in the process. It's a simple equation to me.
Right.
Right? So anyway, we appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate all of you.
Yeah. One of many podcasts to come.
Sir.
I appreciate all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Well, man, this is the Up From Here podcast. So we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. And now that you've heard us, it's only up from here.
Yes, sir. Peace.